Hello everyone, today we are in one of my favorite sedan, the Hyundai Sonata Limited. This car is, I think, a very good value for the money. You can get them for around $30,000. This one in the limited trim is $32,000. We're gonna take a little trip around the neighborhood so I can tell you a little bit what I think about this one in particular. I had the chance to drive the N-Line trim, so a bit the sportier version of the Sonata a few weeks back. I think it was worth a couple of grand more than this one. Overall, they look absolutely exactly similar. The outside, the inside, very few differences, a couple of badges here and there. The Sonata is really not a car you buy for the sporty nature of the vehicle. It's more like a great proposition for long commuting and efficient traveling, and buying a car with pretty low price tag considering the amount of feature you get. And on top of that, you get a fantastic warranty. I think it's 7 years for the drivetrain, which is so much better than anything you can buy with the German manufacturers. Even I think the Japanese are not offering this kind of warranty anymore. Hyundai is still trying to make a name for themselves. They have a very good reputation at this time, but they're still trying to prove a point in terms of value. I mean, their badge, I would say, still drags them down a little bit. People do not see them as Toyota or a BMW, so they're still trying to find their place. With the Sonata Limited, you get a really well balanced car for a commuter. Again, it's not a sports car by any stretch. It doesn't have that much power. The handling is just okay. Sonata is not really a car you buy for the great handling or the great power. It's more a car you buy, again, for the amenities and the price tag. I think on the outside and inside, the design is absolutely spot on. On the outside, like all the body part you can think of are painted. You actually have everything that would be like plastic before now is painted black. Very nice sharp shape, even some quite gutsy move on the tail design, the tail light, the trunk, reminding a little bit what BMW were doing with the 5 Series, with something a little bit out of the ordinary. And that is purely a design stance, not really in line with what Hyundai is usually known for. But I'm a big fan. The front, the LED light with a strip going over the hood, also a very great creative design element. So for a car that at this price point, it does have a lot of designer elements that are present in the car. I think it looks really nice. Inside the vehicle, it's the same thing. They really paid a lot of attention to detail. Everything is very well integrated. The materials are quite fantastic for the price, and the driving position is nice. It's a mid-sized sedan, but it does offer a ton of space inside the cabin. You would really be pressed to get more for the price. And maybe if you go in like the top extra large sedan like the BMW 7 Series or S-Class, you get a little bit more space, but it feels very spacious in this car. It's a sedan, so it's not really a hot trendy vehicle size, and that's also why the price is actually so good. Is it because everybody is ready to pay more money for the SUV? So if you really don't need the extra trunk capacity and you can deal with the sedan, actually enjoy the sedan handling with a lower center of gravity, you are in for quite a treat in terms of value for the money. I'm really a big fan of the Sonata. In terms of driving ability, again, nothing is really bad in this car, but nothing is also like particularly great or sporty, but it's definitely miles ahead of some of the best cars that were produced like 20 years ago. So at today's value, I mean, it's really unbeatable for me, I believe. You can compare it, of course, to other cars like the Hyundai Accord, the Toyota Camry, but personally, none of those cars have the same design element that I really enjoy in this one, that make it stand out. They feel a little boring. I like the idea of buying a Hyundai being a little bit different, almost feels like a new option instead of buying the same old, you know, Honda or Toyota option. So I think it has a little bit of a cool factor to it, because you're not buying exactly the same car which as your parent did. So I think that's pretty cool. Driving the car, there are a couple of driving mode here to make the car either more economical or sports mode. They don't really make such a big difference, because they changed maybe a little bit the way the throttle, the sensitivity on the throttle, a couple of things like this, but overall it's still a very comfy package, and the suspension are pretty soft. And again, I'm not talking about soft like your old Crown Victoria that was kind of unbearably bouncy. It's quite responsive. Again, it's much better than more expensive cars that are, you know, that were built 20 years ago. It's really right there. It feels current, it feels good. You don't feel like you're driving a cheap sedan. I mean, you're looking around, you could slap a German badge on this and think that you're spending, you know, $45,000. So you really get a great benefit of buying a Hyundai, because you're not paying, you know, for the expensive marketing brand that you would have to pay for on the German competition. And also you have to think they don't have to make their base car so over-engineered so that they can slap on it like those crazy fast badge like the M3 or the AMG badge, where, you know, BMW, even on their base 3 Series sedan, they have to always think about how we're gonna fit so much more power into it, so they have to over-engineer it a little bit. Here you can buy the N-Line version, which is a little bit more powerful, which actually I would recommend, because for like 2 grand more, 2 or 3 grand more, you get a lot more power and you get a little bit of an extra edge into the sportiness. It's nothing crazy, but I enjoy it a little bit more. I think and everybody should buy the N-Line. I really don't see what would be the problem. It's still just as refined and comfortable, but you do have that little bit of an extra power, and it looks just like the Limited. It doesn't look like, you know, a crazy sports car with wing in the back or some crazy body element. It remains very, you know, good looking and very generic in design. You don't have to be labeled as a crazy car guy and driving the N-Line. So it's very subdued, a bit like, you know, M cars or AMG cars. So I think the good move there on Hyundai part, not making the N-Line too crazy. I think that's about it for the car. Big fan of it. Just take it for what it is, a front-wheel drive car, which is very comfortable, great proposition for the money. You will not lose your shirt on it. If you want to keep it for the long term, it's not going to cost you too much to repair. You have a great warranty on it. And honestly, if you plan on commuting and respecting speed limits and driving reasonably, it's more power than you will need anyways. So it's not like a car that's going to put a smile on your face thinking you're like driving something so special. But when you look at your finance and over the long term and your comfort, I think you'll be happy with your purchase. That's it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see my other videos. And I'll see you later in another car. Bye bye.